Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Wednesday. All right, guys, while I'm recording these videos before we go live today, I got an early start, but I did want to say if you guys are not around for the live, then definitely be a part of the replay crew. We're going live with Kim from Bravo Breaking News to talk about last night's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap, which part 2 was interesting. There was a lot. It was a lot. Before we jump in, though, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And also, we gave you guys a big announcement. I just wanted to make sure while we're going through this and before we eventually do our big launch, you guys right now can be in the know. All you have to do is go to upandadamlive.com, enter your email address, sign up. We're not charging for anything, nothing like that, but you'll see a lot of exciting things to come. With that, smash the like button, show some love, and we got to get into this. So Ali Luber recently opened up about the events leading to her breakup with James Kennedy. And clearly, she was talking about this moment that happened in December that served as a wake-up call. You guys know that we were at the Kathy Hilton DirecTV Christmas party. Ali was there. James was there. The night was a little off. I could tell some things. I'm not going to go into detail on that. But yeah, maybe I already have on a different live. But yeah, I could see some things. And now she is elaborating. And I think that it's more important to hear from her, who was one half of that relationship. So that's exactly where we're going to go. Now, I'm also going to play some videos for you. But in this situation that panned out clearly, again, I don't think that this was like the only thing that happened. I think this was the main event. But Kathy Hilton's Christmas party, Ali was invited to read birth charts, okay, at this gathering. And she did, and it looked amazing. But after completing this, she noticed a change in James's demeanor, and she suspected that he had been drinking, which was a breach of their agreement because he's been over a year into recovery. And I think that she probably was not happy with that. So there was a confrontation, and then there was an arrest that same night. They ended up arguing during their ride home, and tensions ended up escalating as they got home. Police were called, but the police call apparently came from an unidentified individual. Now, although Ali requested a breathalyzer test for James Kennedy, officers confirmed that his inebriation was it was what it was. The guy was drunk without even doing a test like that. And James was arrested on domestic violence charges that night, but he was cleared from these. That was a month later after an investigation. So he did make it out on the other side where he didn't actually have any charges that he will have follow him for the rest of his life. But I'm wondering how much of a wake-up call it was. But she went through in this interview and talked about the emotional impact and also the breakup. And she emphasized that while she was not physically harmed, there was a lot of emotional strain in the relationship and constant tension that led her to end that relationship. I couldn't imagine what she was going through. I feel like this just seems like it was a toxic cycle. It was like this merry-go-round or like Ferris wheel that you just have to get your ass off of. But she said that she gives her credit to therapy for helping her recognize that this relationship was a facade of a fairy tale romance. Because at the end of the day, James was hiding the fact that he had relapsed. Now, she also went into her own personal reflections on this, and she talked about her father's alcohol-related death. She acknowledged that she had this subconscious desire to save her father through a relationship with James Kennedy, which is wild. I can't even imagine the emotional impact that would have on somebody. But at least, you know what? Therapy helped her come to terms with that, because I think that's a part of as somebody who is in therapy, and I will be very open about that, I think that everybody should do it. I think that we all have different stories. And I think that It doesn't make you weak to go to therapy, you guys. It just means that you get to talk to somebody and you get to try to understand maybe your own behavioral patterns, but also why things work the way they do in your life. Are there things that you can do better? Are there things that you should eliminate? I think it's great for everyone. And clearly this was an amazing tool for Allie. So I applaud her for being so vocal and open about it, especially using her platform to do so. I think that in itself is amazing. But moving forward, she's seeking a partner who is emotionally whole and complete. And that guy exists, or that girl. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But I'm saying that person exists, right? Some of the things that she said verbatim were, when I was finished working and came out of the party, that's when it was like, oh, his whole demeanor changed. And I could kind of tell, like, have you been drinking? And she said the tension was high and he was gaslighting me. And she said, I was not hurt physically, but emotionally, yes, I was. And I was still just trying to regulate. But hitting these milestones in your career is so exciting, but hitting them with your best friend, it's like a different level of happiness, which is kind of funny because she is referencing James Kennedy. However, Paige DeSorbo just kind of said the same thing about Hannah Berner. So now moving on. I did want to share a few of the clips from this. Thank you to the Bravo investigator. Here we go.
I don't know if I would have been strong enough to leave and to stay away. Honestly, like I don't know if I would have been or not. So like I feel like that's another point too, is just like, and if you're ever in like a relationship like that or something, like in a weird way, I'm kind of grateful almost that it was so public because it was like out there. And then my friends and family were able to really like, you know,
it's like you had strangers kind of holding you accountable to like not
which sounds
back.
Crazy.
Had there been episodes
system in LA? Because I don't know if I would have been strong enough to leave.
Next.
Like, do you believe, knowing what you know about James, and now that you're out of this relationship and you can see it with a clearer lens, do you believe Kristen Doty or Rachel when it comes to their accusations towards James and him being physical towards them?
I want to say like, it's so hard because James has been in my ear, not now, but you know, for our relationship, obviously. And I've heard a lot from the rest of the cast. Mutually, that was just a very toxic relationship on both parties. So I don't really want to say anything, but I will say that, and I have to say this, but also like it's true, but like I always will believe women. And I do feel kind of guilty or bad. And I shouldn't, I'm not going to take that on myself. But you know, sometimes it is like, oh, like they were right. Or like, oh, these people saying all these things about James's behavior. Like, but sometimes I think you have to just really figure it out for yourself. It's like, you kind of just have to, you know, I don't have any regrets. And James, at the end of the day, he is a great person. Like he has great qualities and he's wounded. Tried to fix that.
Yeah. But like, do you believe, knowing what you know about James?
Okay. Another one.
She called me and she did make sure like, are you okay? I mean, this was like 2 months later, but she called and made sure.
She called you 2 months later?
Maybe, or a month. I don't know.
Certainly not the next day.
Certainly not the next day, but she called and checked in on me. And then just, she's very protective over James. And I get it because I was too for a long time. Like it's very motherly.
But you were in love with him.
Yeah. Who was in love with him? Right. That's, I think that she feels protected, like a mother almost to him. Yeah. And I thought that was really weird at first when I first got on the show. Then I kind of started to understand it a little more. But she was basically like, Allie, like he needs you. Like you're really good together. I don't think that like,
so she was trying to convince you to stay with him even after learning that he.
Yeah. She was like, you should go travel with him to his shows this weekend. I'm like, first of all, what shows? He's canceled right now. And also, no, I just moved into an apartment. We're not together. But it was really weird because on the call, I was kind of like, I was like weak in the moment, you know, and I'm like, like, did I make the wrong, you know what I mean? Like questioning everything.
Do you think James asked her to make that call?
I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah. Friends after and like told them everything she said. And they were like, no, like she's a producer. That's her trying to quite literally produce and like get you guys back together. So like, I don't know why.
Wow.
Yeah. And
last but not
when
least,
you say you weren't hurt, just to clarify, was there any moment in that night where you, or I guess anyone else who might have been present, like felt like he was getting physically aggressive with you? Like whether it's a disconnect or perception of the situation that escalated into his arrest?
Honestly, like not physically, but verbal, manic, like just really, really loud and like intense and just like sporadic behavior where it's like you don't really know what this person is capable of or going to do. It's not necessarily like a safe feeling.
Yeah.
Shit.
When you say you weren't hurt, just to clarify,
Mm.
was there any moment in that night?
All right, guys. Well, I want to hear what you guys think. Guys, pop off in the comment section. Clearly, I do just want to applaud Ali Luber for having the strength to even have this conversation. I don't think that this was an easy conversation to have. And the fact that she still has separated herself, she is not trying to rip his character down. She understands that he has his own struggles. I think the way that she articulated the message was done so beautifully. I have nothing but love and praise for Ali Luber in this moment. But I want to hear what you guys think, guys. Pop off in the comment section. Smash that like button. If you guys are not subscribed, definitely get subscribed. And again, don't forget, because we have fun things coming up. Go to upandadamlive.com. You can check it out. Join our email list. I put a little message right there for you guys, and you'll see what we're talking about. Love you guys.